Welcome back. So glad you're here. This video is going to continue my kind of reading commentary on my own work called The Heresy of Heresies, a defense of Christian common sense realism. So I'm going to continue on with the reading and commentary on the first chapter by me, I guess. Sorry, I'm looking at the page here, which talks about Chesterton. I started thinking about Chesterton. I'm going to talk to you about an argument from Chesterton about common sense, ordinary common sense realism. So, this video will cover maybe just part of this argument from Chesterton. I'm trying to keep these videos not too terribly long. It's hard to do for a philosopher. So here it is. This section 1.2, Why Common Sense Realism. Here's some arguments. 1.2.1, an argument from G.K. Chesterton. Eggs are eggs. Okay. It has been said that the big questions of philosophy are often so profound as to merit answers so confusing that no one but a professional expert philosopher could even manage to understand. What is existence? What is truth? What is goodness? What is beauty? Thankfully, there have been thinkers throughout the ages who began answering these big questions from simple, common sense starting points. Thomas Aquinas was one such philosopher, and G.K. Chesterton was another. Chesterton's brilliant book on Aquinas shows us the stark contrast between those thinkers, like Aquinas, who start from common sense experiences, and those who do not. And the history of philosophy, is replete or filled with philosophers who don't. Chesterton wrote that modern philosophies start with a paradox, or something that no normal man would believe, such as everything is relative to a reality that is not there, or the contradictions should exist together. Those thinkers who really get things right, who deserve our admiration, and whose ideas we should follow, have philosophies that are grounded upon common sense experience. So philosophers who are commonsensical, these are the philosophers you should listen to. Okay? These are the people that I've tried to draw from for this book. Right? Here's what Chesterton tells us. The philosophy of St. Thomas stands founded on the universal common conviction that eggs are eggs. The Thomist, it's a follower of Aquinas, stands in the broad daylight, not unlike today, of the brotherhood of men, in their common consciousness that eggs are eggs, and not hens or dreams or mere practical assumptions, but things attested to the authority of the senses, which is from God. To this question, is there anything? St. Thomas begins by answering yes. If he began by answering no, it would not be the beginning, but the end. That is what some of us call common sense. Either there is no philosophy, no philosophers, no thinkers, no thought, no anything, or else there is a real bridge between the mind and reality. But he is actually less exacting than many thinkers, Aquinas is talking about here, as to what the first step involves. He is content, as we shall see, to say that it involves the recognition of ends, as E-N-S, ends, or being, as something definitely beyond ourselves. Ends is ends. Eggs are eggs. And it is not tenable that all eggs were found in a mare's nest. Mare's nest is like a crazy, knotty, difficult, untangleable Gordian knot of some kind, like a really tangled, messy problem. Chesterton's delightful idea is an excellent starting point for our understanding of existence. We start with ordinary experiences and we develop our view from there. Doing so requires some careful reflection and elaboration. This is the task of philosophical thinking. Such thinking is always based on experiences that can be had by anyone capable of having experiences, whether they will reflect on those experiences or not. If one is willing to look and see that eggs are eggs, that things are real, and that there are certain kinds of things and not others, then one is the first step is on the first step of a longer analysis of the nature of existence. Okay. Now, Chesterton's argument is quite simple here. I'm going to walk you through the logic of it. If you're not into logic, don't confuse me with the facts or the logic. Right? You can skip on to the next video. But here's a little logic for you. If you need an analysis of his argument, here it is. It takes a simple form of a disjunctive syllogism, an either-or option. Here's the propositions. P, there is nothing. Q, there is something. Now, those are the premises. Here's the argument. Premise 1, P or Q. Premise 2, not P, conclusion, therefore Q. Those of you who have had a logic class or two, that was an easy one, right? Okay. Little disjunctive syllogism there. The key premise in this argument is premise 2. There is not nothing. Why? Because there is something. The evidence for this claim is fairly straightforward. Part of me just wants to stop and laugh, like, do we really have to talk about this? But in a world that rejects common sense, it seems like the answer is yes, we do. If there were nothing, then there wouldn't be any argument for something. But there is an argument for something. Therefore, it's not the case that there is nothing. Similarly, if one argued that there was nothing, the result would be the same. If there were nothing, then there wouldn't be anything as an argument for nothing. But there is an argument for nothing, therefore it's not the case that there's nothing. Therefore, there's something. This is the point where some readers simply say that the only thing that philosophers are good for is emergencies at pool parties. They're nice to have around. Or gatherings with deep bodies of water. For philosophers are able to go down deep, stay down long, and come up dry. Right? Gotta have a dad joke in your book every now and then. Chesterton is simply stating that if we answer the question, is there anything, in the negative, then there's no philosophy either. But since we are philosophizing about reality, then there is something. This is all fairly logically straightforward, but Chesterton has a slightly stronger conclusion in his next argument. You know what? Let's pause here. I'll go into the next argument. Thanks for watching.
Stay psyched, Grom. Ew.